Ladies and gentlemen, Sean O'Malley's next fight has been announced. He will be fighting Pedro Munhoz at UFC 276. There's a lot to unpack here. We're going to start by saying there was leaked images of some show Dana White was on. I think it was called like the Pivot Podcast. And you can see in the background of that just this full card for UFC 276. And I have it right here. It's on July 2nd. You have the main event, Israel Adesanya versus Jared Cannonier. I talked about the co-main, which is Khamzat Chimaev versus Nate Diaz. You also have Sean Strickland and Alex Pereira being moved from UFC 277 to UFC 276. Lauren Murphy versus Miesha Tate. And then you run into Sean O'Malley and Pedro Munhoz. So you have that. You have ESPN and the UFC officially announcing this fight. And there's a lot that goes into this. So Sean O'Malley has talked about not wanting to fight like worthy competitors. He wants to fight cans, as he calls them. He's on a 3-fight win streak right now. He's fought 3 unranked fighters in a row, and he got knockouts in all of those fights. There was Thomas Almeida. There was that green-haired monster, Chris Mutino. And then it was Paiva. That was the last one. So you have Sean O'Malley. He's ranked 13 right now, which is kind of weird because he hasn't won against a top 15 opponent that I can think of. I don't think Almeida was ranked. I don't know why he's ranked 13 because he fought a top 15 guy and lost, and then he's gotten 3 unranked victories. Whatever. But Pedro Munhoz is in a weird situation in his career. He's coming off of 2 losses. He's lost 4 out of his last 5 fights, but he is still a dog. He is still a damn good fighter, and he has very, very good victories from not that long ago. I know he fought Jamie Rivera to a decision, which he won in 2021. Then the 2 losses came from Aldo and Cruz, 2 legends in the sport. The other losses, Frankie Edgar lost that by split decision, and then there's the Aljamain Sterling lost, the current champion. The previous victory before that was Cody Garbrandt back in 2019. This is an interesting matchup, so I think it's going to take place on the feet. I'm interested to see if Pedro goes for takedowns, but this is a tough test for Sean O'Malley, and I don't think this is an easy fight for him by any stretch of the imagination. Pedro Munhoz throws vicious leg kicks, and that was seen in the Jimmy Rivera fight. He landed so many terrible leg strikes to Jimmy Rivera, and their legs were completely beat up in that fight. So when you think about that, Sean O'Malley, that's kind of his kryptonite. That's kind of his Achilles heel. Those leg kicks. If Pedro's landing and landing and landing, and Sean O'Malley isn't able to retaliate and keep him at bay or check those kicks, it's going to be a messed up night for Sean O'Malley. But we know how good Sean O'Malley is striking-wise, so it's really, really interesting. If he beats Pedro Munhoz, he's in the top 10. He's in the top 10 in this division. And let's take a look here. So it's interesting to see. If he loses, what do you do with him? Because you can't really give him Frankie Edgar. That would just kind of be mean, I feel like, to Frankie Edgar. You got Ricky Simone there. Marlon Moraes is ranked 14th below him, and he just retired. If he loses his fight, he's in a weird spot. So I don't really know, but if he wins, it just opens the floodgates. Song Yadong is ahead of him. Dominic Cruz is ahead of him. Rob Font is ahead of him. Then it's Merab. I don't think he's going to get a top 5 after that. I wouldn't think. I think he's going to take it slow. But I think if he wins this fight, make Dominic Cruz versus Sean O'Malley. You know, former champ versus the new superstar in the division. I think it'd be interesting. But I'm super happy to hear about Sean O'Malley actually fighting someone in the top 15, in the top 10 even. What do you guys think of this fight? Who do you think has the edge? Who do you think will be the betting favorite going into this fight? I have a feeling it's going to be Sean O'Malley, but I think I would lean towards Pedro Munhoz winning this fight, but I'll have a breakdown on this one as we get closer. But UFC 276, it's shaping up. It's going to look like it's going to be a really solid card, so I'm super excited about that. Once again, let me know who you think wins this one in the comment section below. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. I talk about MMA way too much on this channel. It's kind of the point of the channel. But yeah, peace out, everyone.